There's a silent visitor that walks into the lives of many older adults. It doesn't knock. It doesn't announce itself with flashing lights or sirens. It comes quietly, slowly. And often, by the time you realize it's there, damage has already been done. That visitor is diabetes. Not the kind you notice with big warning signs. No shaking hands, no dramatic fainting spells. Sometimes, it's just a little more fatigue than usual. Or a new habit of waking up in the middle of the night to pee. Things that are easy to shrug off when you're over 60. But here's the thing. Those small signs, they can mean something big. Let's talk about the lesser-known signals your body might be giving you. Not to scare you, but to empower you. Because knowing what to look for could change everything. You're more thirsty than usual, and not just on hot days. Ever feel like no matter how much water you drink, your mouth still feels like sandpaper? You might assume it's the weather, or maybe a side effect of medication. But persistent thirst, especially when paired with frequent urination, is one of the earliest and quietest indicators of elevated blood sugar. What's happening? Your body is trying to flush out the extra glucose through urine. That process dehydrates you, which sends you back to the fridge for another bottle of water. You're going to the bathroom all the time. Sure, needing the restroom a bit more as you age isn't unusual, but when it becomes frequent, like clockwork every couple of hours, even at night, that's something to pay attention to. Especially if it's paired with increased thirst. This happens because your kidneys are working overtime to get rid of the excess sugar in your blood. It's not just annoying. Over time, it wears your body down, affecting your sleep, your energy, and even your mood. Your vision's a little blurrier, and you haven't updated your glasses. Here's something most people don't know. High blood sugar doesn't just mess with your organs, it messes with your eyes. And not just over years, but sometimes in a matter of weeks. Blurred vision can be an early warning sign that your blood sugar is out of whack. Your eyes may swell slightly, changing their shape and affecting how they focus. If things suddenly look fuzzier than usual, don't just chalk it up to age. Cuts and scrapes heal slowly, and that's not just getting older. One of the biggest myths about aging is that wounds naturally heal more slowly. That's not entirely true. If you notice a scratch or small injury taking unusually long to close up, it could be due to high glucose levels that interfere with your blood circulation. Poor circulation means fewer nutrients and oxygen reach the site of a wound. That slow healing can open the door to infections, especially in your feet and legs. You feel tired, even when you've slept well. We all have off days. But if every day feels like a struggle to get going, even after a full night's rest, that's a red flag. When your cells can't absorb sugar properly due to insulin resistance, they're basically running on empty. That means your body doesn't get the energy it needs, no matter how much you sleep or how many naps you sneak in during the day. Tingling or numbness in your hands and feet. It often starts subtly. A slight tingling in your toes, a weird numbness in your fingers. At first, it might seem like you just slept funny or sat in one spot too long. But if it keeps happening or worsens, that's a serious sign. It could mean nerve damage caused by high blood sugar levels, something known as diabetic neuropathy. And the longer it goes unchecked, the worse it can get. You're losing weight, but not trying to. Sounds like a bonus, right? Not really. Unexpected weight loss, especially when you haven't changed your diet or exercise habits, could be a sign that your body isn't absorbing glucose properly, so it starts burning fat and muscle instead. This kind of weight loss can be fast and dangerous. You're not just shedding fat, you're losing strength and energy. Mood swings, confusion, or memory lapses. Blood sugar doesn't just affect your body. It affects your brain too. High or low glucose levels can throw off your mood, concentration, and memory. Have you been forgetting names more than usual? Or finding it harder to focus on a task? You might think it's just age catching up, but it could also be a clue that your blood sugar is playing games with your brain. Why these signs are so easy to miss. Here's the problem. Most of these signs can easily be blamed on just getting older. And many of us are taught to accept fatigue, forgetfulness, and physical changes as an inevitable part of aging. But they're not always. Sometimes they're clues, whispers from your body. And listening to them could mean catching diabetes early before it takes a bigger toll. So what should you do if these sound familiar? Start with a conversation. Talk to your doctor. Mention even the small things, because in health, there's rarely such a thing as just a little off. A simple blood test can give you clarity. And from there are so many ways to manage, control, and even reverse the effects of diabetes, especially if caught early. You're not alone, and you're not powerless. Diabetes can feel overwhelming. But the truth is, with knowledge comes strength. The earlier you know, the more control you have. Lifestyle changes, medication, monitoring. None of it has to be scary. Especially when you realize how many others are walking this road with you. You're not failing. You're learning. You're adjusting. You're choosing to care for your body in a new way. And that's something worth being proud of. Final thoughts. So if any of this feels familiar, if something in your body feels just not quite right, don't ignore it. Your body has a quiet wisdom. And when it speaks, even in whispers, it's worth listening. Because catching diabetes early isn't just about preventing disease. It's about protecting your independence, your energy, your memories, and above all, your quality of life. You're not just older, you're wiser. And that wisdom, it starts with paying attention,